Welcome everyone to At the Table with yours truly, Candice. I am elated you joined me. Whether you're a returning listener or it's your first time, thank you for streaming with us. There's always wonderful guests stopping by for a chat. There's always something going on here in the triad of North Carolina. As the old saying goes, I don't meet strangers. I really don't. Everyone is welcome, and I'm so glad that this weekend I have the honor of interviewing two men that are impacting the city of High Point and the Triad in ways that are having far-reaching effects across North Carolina and abroad. Ryan Ross, Executive Director, and Ivan Huffman, Director of Advancement, are here with us. These gentlemen are a part of the executive staff at Open Door Ministries, and Open Door Ministries is a well-known living assistance program here in the area. They have worked tirelessly to feed, shelter, and clothe the less fortunate, and I am excited to share this interview with you. We're streaming now on Facebook and YouTube, so please share, like, join the conversation. Also visit www.spectrumlight-entertainment.com for additional details on ways to donate and support Open Door Ministries. How are you, gentlemen?
Very good. Thanks for having us.
I wanted for everyone to kind of hear the story of Open Door Ministries, and kind of you tell us about the humble beginnings, where things started.
Open Doors started as it was a food bank and urban ministry, just two separate organizations. And in 1989, in 1990, they built a new building in High Point. And in 1995, they were sharing space. In 1995, they combined to make Open Door Ministries, which is the homeless shelter, food pantry. We have a father's table, which is the soup kitchen. We have permanent supportive housing and emergency assistance, and have grown now. In 2000, they built a shelter specific to veterans. So we have 6 large programs now, and the organization has now been in existence for 34 years. And we do a lot of good in the community. We help a lot of people that are in need, at risk of homelessness or currently homeless, and we provide thousands of meals a month to those that are hungry.
And that's noble what you're doing. I have Ivan Huffman here as well. I hear he's the tech guy and everything else. So
He's everything.
There you go. And so how does your role, tell us what you do and how that plays a role?
Of course. So with any large nonprofit or medium-sized nonprofit, you have a lot of individuals that want to help. They want to be involved with the ministry or involved. And with that comes a lot of media, a lot of communications. And that's really where my role kind of focuses, is in that media, public relations and communications aspect, but also the fundraising. It costs our organization $125,000 a month to operate our 6 programs in 2 different facilities. So to do that, we need a really large fundraising goal every year, and fundraising campaigns, as well as that communication with our donors, our supporters, local businesses, and local elected officials. So keeping everybody on the same page and ensuring that everybody's getting the same congruent information is really impactful. And also sharing the stories of those that we serve. A lot of our staff have once been in our shelter. A lot of our volunteers have been impacted by homelessness. So making sure their stories are told really just allows us to continue our success by bringing in all the support from the community and people that want to give back.
Yeah, so how does that work when people need emergency assistance and they don't know where to go? Like, how do you connect with those people?
They can find us through the website, or there's a 211 website through Guilford County that they can call. And if you are behind on your rent or utilities, you can come to us and we will try to, we pay the the bills directly to the provider. So if you come and you need rent assistance, we will pay to the rental company. We never give anyone money directly. We just pay the bills for them, and try to get them caught up to keep power from being turned off, water from being turned off, because the last thing we want is anybody to end up homeless.
Man, that is amazing. So can you share with us one of the most a story that just touched your heart, and like what's the most impactful story that you've heard?
We have a lot. We have a lot of success stories. You hear a lot of really heart-wrenching things for how people end up at Open Door. We had a man that he owned a landscaping business, and due to a car accident, while all of his lawn equipment and landscaping equipment was on the trailer, it totaled it and wrecked basically his business. And 2 months later, he was homeless. I don't think a lot of people really think about, most people are just 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless. And he came to us and he was like, what can I do? I don't have anywhere to stay and I don't have a job. And he's like, Susan, you can find me something. Because he had never had to even put a resume together. So our staff, case managers, helped him do his resume. We helped him look for a job. And he actually got a job at Home Depot. And I mean, he wasn't with us anytime, but we got him into an apartment, got him back on his feet again. And that's just, one story. You hear a lot of others that are just very touching, and people that they don't, nobody wants to be homeless. Me and Ivan talked a lot about it. You don't see little kids that when people say, what do you want to do when you grow up? They say, I want to be homeless. I want to be a drug addict. It's just, there's life circumstances that happen. And so I think there's an understanding of, people are there for a reason, and we're just trying to help them get on their feet. Ivan's probably got stories of people that he's talked to while he's there. So.
Another really impactful story, and we've actually had this one promoted on Fox 8 here in High Point. We have a staff member that came to us one night. Guilford County Sheriff dropped him off at the door. He was in the court system for 4 years, charged with first-degree murder in a self-defense scenario. His case was once it got in front of a jury, he wasn't convicted, and everything went through, and he was a free man. But in the 4 years that he was in the court system, he lost his sister, his family, his house, his job. He had a CDL. He lost everything. Couldn't find his social security card or his ID, and Guilford County just dropped him off the door. And he's been working with us now for 7-8 months. He was volunteering with us for a while, and he was in our shelter program. He was a veteran, so he's still in our program, but he just came to us last week asking for a housing voucher. So he is really trying to find a way up and out of the system that really put him there. If he hadn't gone through the 4-year hiccup of the court system during COVID and how backlogged they were, he might not have been in this situation. So to Ryan's point, one self-defense scenario here in the community and public can lead you to a life that you never thought you'd ever be in. So that's a story that always touches me, because it's one thing that we all take for granted is our right to self-defense, and that ended up changing his life forever.
Wow. Yeah, and that's one thing that I've learned on my journey. He's right. One wrong turn could just change the trajectory of our lives. What do you say to people that say, oh, charities like Open Door Ministries aren't needed? And have you had to deal with that in any way?
There's definitely needed. We see people that go, well, it's homeless people and they just make bad decisions. They brought it on themselves. And in some cases, yes, they probably did.
Right.
But again, no one wants to end up in that kind of situation. A lot of people are just, it's like that old song, born under a bad sign. They have those kind of situations. And what Open Door is there for is to be that second chance and a soft place to land until you can get back on your feet. And anybody that says, well, open door isn't needed, well, I think the one thing we should all be able to agree on, and I don't care your political leanings or anything else, we should all be able to agree that homelessness is bad, and hunger is bad, and addiction is bad. So what can we do to help that? And I think that's where Open Door really fills that void. And in other organizations like Open Door as well. But Open Door is there, to provide that second chance for people in a place to reset. That we try to provide safety, security, a caring environment with a good staff that's there to try to help people get back on their feet and take that step to get back into life into where they want to be.
What you do in the community, you're MVPs of mine. But yeah, you can definitely reach out to Open Door Ministry through their website or social media, and also through spectrumlight-entertainment.com. We have a section of our website where we're helping to collect donations for Open Door Ministries. You all can check me out, of course, every weekend, Friday to Sunday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., either at Spectrum Light Radio or Simply Inspiration Radio. I appreciate you coming by, and thank you so much.